Hey there, folks. Michael Klepik here, and today we're diving into a head-to-head battle of the heavyweights in the world of air filtration. Baghouse versus Electrostatic Precipitator, or as the cool kids call it, ESP. Both of these systems are used to clean the air of dust and other particulates in industrial settings, but how do you know which one's right for your operation? Whether you're Team Baghouse or Team ESP, stick around as we break it down and settle the score. Spoiler, no punches will be pulled. How do they work? Let's start by explaining the basic mechanics of these systems. Baghouse. Baghouses are like giant vacuum cleaners on steroids. They use fabric filter bags to physically trap dust and particulate matter from the gas stream. As the air passes through the bags, the particulates get caught on the fabric and clean air moves out the other side. Over time, these bags need to be cleaned to shake off the accumulated dust, which can be done through shaking, reverse air, or pulse jet systems. Electrostatic Precipitator, ESP. Now, ESPs are a bit more high-tech. Instead of relying on filter bags, they use electricity, specifically electrostatic forces, to capture particles. The system charges the particles as they pass through an ionized field, then attracts them to oppositely charged collector plates. The particles cling to the plates, and clean air flows out. The plates are periodically cleaned, usually through a process called wrapping, where they're shaken or struck to dislodge the particulates. Alright, so which one does a better job at capturing particles? Baghouse efficiency. Baghouses are known for their high efficiency, particularly when dealing with fine dust particles. They can capture over 99% of particulates, making them a great option for industries where even the smallest dust particles are a problem, such as cement plants or metalworking operations. The fabric in the bags is key here. It creates a barrier that captures particles as small as 2.5 microns. ESP efficiency. ESPs also boast high efficiency and can capture a wide range of particle sizes, from very fine particulates to larger ones. However, their efficiency can drop when dealing with particles that have a low electrical resistivity, as they may not hold the charge well enough to get captured by the collector plates. That said, when conditions are right, ESPs can also achieve over 99% efficiency. Now let's talk money, because no one wants to break the bank just to keep the air clean. Baghouse operating costs. Baghouses tend to have higher operating costs, primarily because of the energy required to maintain airflow through the filters. As the dust builds up on the bags, it creates resistance, meaning you need more energy to push the air through. On top of that, you'll need to replace the filter bags periodically, which adds to the costs. ESP operating costs. ESPs generally have lower operating costs because they don't rely on creating airflow resistance in the same way. However, they do require significant electrical power to create the electrostatic charge, especially in larger systems. But because the collection plates don't need to be replaced like bag filters, maintenance costs can be lower in the long run. No one loves maintenance, but it's a necessary evil. So, which system is easier to care for? Baghouse maintenance. With baghouses, maintenance mainly revolves around the filter bags. You'll need to check them regularly for wear and tear, and eventually, they'll need to be replaced. Depending on the type of baghouse, you might also have to maintain the cleaning mechanisms, shaking, reverse air, or pulse jet. All of this can add up in terms of both time and costs. ESP maintenance. ESPs, on the other hand, require regular cleaning of the collector plates. This can be done automatically via the wrapping system, but the plates still need periodic inspections to ensure they're functioning properly. You'll also need to maintain the electrical components, which can be a bit more technical compared to the relatively straightforward baghouse maintenance. Let's not forget about space. Not everyone has endless room in their facility, so size can be a real deal breaker. Baghouse space requirements. Baghouses, especially those with lots of filters, can take up a fair amount of space. Depending on the size of the unit and the number of filters required, they may need a dedicated area. That said, newer designs offer more compact models for operations where space is limited. ESP space requirements. ESPs tend to be a bit more compact in design, even when handling large air volumes. Because they don't need large filter systems like baghouses, they can be easier to fit into tighter spaces. However, keep in mind that they'll still require room for the electrical systems that power them. Now let's not forget about Mother Earth. Which system is more eco-friendly? Baghouse environmental impact. Baghouses generate solid waste in the form of used filter bags and collected dust, which needs to be disposed of properly. If the dust contains hazardous materials, disposal can become even more complicated and expensive. ESP environmental impact. ESPs produce less solid waste since they don't use filters. The collected particles can often be recycled or safely disposed of, depending on the material. However, the high electricity usage of ESPs can have a larger carbon footprint, depending on where that energy is coming from. So, when should you choose one over the other? Let's talk applications. Baghouse applications. Baghouses are a top choice for industries that produce large amounts of dust, like cement, metalworking, and food processing. They're especially effective for fine particulate matter and are often used where strict air quality regulations are in place. ESP applications. ESPs are common in industries like power generation, pulp and paper, and oil refineries, where large volumes of gas need to be cleaned. They're particularly good at handling sticky or oily particles that might clog bag filters. So, which one is the winner, Baghouse or ESP? Well, it depends on what you're looking for. If you need high efficiency and don't mind a bit more maintenance, a Baghouse might be your best bet. But if you're dealing with large gas volumes and want lower operating costs, an ESP could be the way to go. Either way, both systems will get the job done as long as you pick the right one for your needs. Thanks for sticking with me, and until next time, breathe easy.